Aquarius, how you doing? And welcome back to the Astroflower for your weekly energy reading going from the 15th to the 21st of September. Hope you're doing well. Messages from energy came out this week, and it was all about becoming a interdimensional person. And it's a little bit like multitasking about on your karmic path. And there's various things that we all want to achieve in life. And that can be on a personal level as much as it is on a professional level. And sometimes they dovetail together and sometimes they don't. And it depends on, on lots of things like rhythms and life rhythms and so forth, which we go into on the Astroflower. And for you this week, I think the thing that is going to be dovetailing a lot of things within your life, both your personal and your financial life, is going to be the emotional connection. Because the other thing that came out from the messages from energy as well was the elements of water and earth. Mainly it's earth, it's got to be said, but you do have a lot of water within your sign because you are that water bearer. You are the person who is baptizing people. Although you're given as an air sign, you do have a huge amount of water within you. And that water is at your base, all on your karmic path and your interconnections with the outside world. And that's where your emotions are going to be lying here at the moment. There is a streak of water energy that comes in from Pisces that runs all the way through your sign and goes right up to the surface. And it's mutable. So you've got a lot of play on those emotions, really, that are coming through at the moment. But within each of your karmic paths, both on your personal and your professional side, as much as the connections, that's where you have the majority amount of your emotions and your water. So it's a lot of desires about getting emotionally engaged in the pathway that you so wish, the goals that you so wish to achieve on your personal and your financial side. And as I said, I think they're going to be dovetailing. That's the aspect that's going to be dovetailing the those two sides together. You do have that earth that comes in from Capricorn, which brings you into the here and now, and I think it comes from an idea from within you. So you may have an idea of how to do something, how to do a business, or even to do a career path and so forth, and it's right for you. And I think you're going to feel that this week if you put yourself in a position where emotionally you're fueling the physical advancements of your inner ideas to ultimate fruition within your financial sort of side. Okay, so that was the messages from energy. If you haven't seen it, you'll see it on our channel. We're just going to get a few messages for you, Aquarius. We're going to follow through with the chakra sequencing, and then we're going to move on to pulling a few cards. If you've got any questions that you want channeling in next week's reading, just put them in the comments section of this video here, and we'll sort of channel the answers for next week. Okay, so let's just get on and see what's going on with the energies for you at the moment. There's an enormous amount of passion, and yeah, you do have quite a bit of fire within you. And that fire does play between the ideas and the creation of those ideas. And how much passion you put into it and so forth will determine the outcome of it all. But that passion, you don't want to start mixing it with the emotional side of life, because then it can really spark off a lot of things. Spark off a lot of emotions that you could end up getting lost in. And we've got that shift coming up in this sort of week here, shift of consciousness. I think the shift has already taken hold, but I think next week, the world is going to show the human beings that we're not all that cooked up to be. And the idea that we can run an environment through the chemicals that we find upon the earth as it is, I think is a ludicrously egotistical idea, complete madness in a way. I think the earth knows exactly what she's doing. Energetically, she knows exactly what she's doing. She's not in any problems whatsoever. It's more the concern is the human species rather than the world itself. I think that shift is coming into play. And with that shift, will allow you to open up those ideas of physically what you wish to achieve within your life. And therefore, you do not want to get distracted within emotions that you end up fighting against something. It could be a company or situation or or a colleague or even a family member or a friend or whatever it is. Don't allow your emotions to get too fiery, because by the end of the week, you'll look back and you'll sort of say, do you know what? I spent half my time dealing with all of that rubbish, and I've wasted my time. And you'll be a bit disappointed in yourself. So, I'd be a little bit wary of that. Let's just see what's going on your financial side, or the general energy, sorry, of that. See if there's a vision that we can get from that. I get this idea you're rising up out of the sea. It's like you're rising. This is where the patience come into play. And there's somebody left a message. I forgot. I think it was Victoria. Victoria left a message comment last week about Aquarians not having much in the way of patience, and I get that, because Aquarians tend to be very orderly and they expect the rest of the world to be orderly. And sometimes that patience can be a little bit thin on the ground. But, at the end of the day, if we go too quickly, we end up getting frustrated by life and getting our emotions entangled into the passions. We can get frustrated by life, and that's where the patience comes into play. Either you get frustrated and it lasts even longer, or you be patient for 2 seconds, deal with it, and actually work out that this person or this situation that's given me creating issues in my life, I don't need to fuel them. I need to just kind of go, okay, you like that, right? Fine, fair enough. But I'm just going down this road here. That's where I want to be. There's the goals. That's what I'm going after. Good luck to you. Sort of scenario. That's the sort of feeling I get from it all, from the general energies. And I think this is where you're rising above the emotional triggering that the world can be throwing at you at the moment, because everything seems to be very testing, or testing us as individuals. Okay, that's the general energies. So let's just see what's going on the financial side. Financial side, there is a huge block of gold to be mined within your life, and I think this comes from the ideas that come from within you that you can then start putting out there. These ideas should be emotionally engaged. And when you engage your passions with these ideas, along with the emotions, it's the recipe for huge success. But you do need to mine it out. So basically, you might be having a business idea. Let's say you want to start up a, sort of like a cryptocurrency sort of like thing. In order to do that, you have to sort of also, you can't just go ahead and do it straight away. You're going to need all the licenses. You're going to need to get the advertising going. You're going to see where you put out to the world, and all of that sort of thing. And that's where your emotions and your passions can be very, very useful in order to mine this idea that is within you, this golden idea. And it could be for any sort of business. But there seems to be a bit of hard grafting this week here to get that bit of gold into shape, that idea into shape, so it becomes a viable idea. Okay, and I think that the work comes on the emotional and the passionate side of things. You can use that water and that fire to really sort of like build up a great head of steam. That's what needs to be done. A great head of steam for you on the financial side. So you have huge potential here, Aquarius. But in order to to extract that gold, that idea, that golden idea from you, there needs to be some sort of emotional engagement. You can't go at this half-heartedly. That's what I'm trying to sort of say. Whatever you're so wishing to do, even if it's a career path or a business or a project, whatever you're trying to do, make sure you go at it full on. Okay? Let's just see what's going on the relationship side for you. Okay. It seems to be like you with a partner or with other people, with a group of people, or with family or friends, whatever it is, whatever's really the most concerning for you, I think you need to develop a passionate direction. So it could be like an activity, it could be something that you share with your partner, it could be like even renovating a house, to be honest, but being passionate about it, or starting a family, or doing meditation together, or walking somewhere, or doing a sport together. Whatever it is, it seems to be like um, that you seem to be a driving force behind the passions of the relationships that you can have with the people that are around you. And rather than turning it on people, turning it to a goal. And I think this is running a theme that's running all the way through you, actually. Once you do start directing your passions towards a goal, I think that will infuse other people. It may also expose other people who are not really there to go down the path with you. It's not that you're calling out other people, but it's just that kind of sort of saying, "I'd love to do this," and then the person you'd love to do it with, or the person that supposed to be doing it with, they're kind of, "I don't want to." And so, do you not do it? No, I think you should do it. I think it's going to help to unblock a lot of things that may be a little bit encumbrated at the moment, sort of all sort of blocked, untie a few knots in your emotional side of life. I think this is what the fire is going to do within you, the passion that comes from you. It's not coming from the outside world, because we're getting earth and water, really. So I don't think you have to sort of like worry too much about your emotions. I think you need to sort of give it a direction more than anything else. Okay. What's happening on the sort of spiritual front? Is there anything going on that sort of front? It seems like here you need to learn, or you need to look a little bit deeper into activities that you do. That could be meditation, prayer, yoga, or mindful walking. I think you need to explore those avenues a little bit. I think it's going to, the reason being is I think it will give you a respite from the stress and the strains of everyday life. But at the same time, it's not only a respite, I think you will be advancing enormously on your spiritual path, really, more than anything else. Okay, let's just have a look and see what's going on in your chakra sequencing. So let's just connect to the energies now. There we go. We've got the morphic fields, which I tell you what, the energies for you at the moment are really, there's a lot moving about. There's a lot, it's very, very speedy for you, and that could be trying your emotions as well. Okay, let's just see what's going on. So we've got the crown and the root. This is a really good connection between the two. And I think you are happy of being grounded in this idea of extracting this golden idea within you. And it's also you're grounded in the passions of taking relationships in a direction, and not just being satisfied of being part of the ensemble, as it were, the togetherness, the social sort of side of it. It feels like here that you should be taking a direction in all of this. The crown chakra is a little bit sort of it's at peace. That's what I would say. It's not really extreme in one sense or another. It's just keeping that level-headedness about you, which I think will be a real godsend for you. Okay, let's just see where it's moving on to. So it moves on to the solar plexus now. Solar plexus here, this is where we're finding the passion. This is where we're finding the fire, because it's tied in slightly to, because the solar plexus touches slightly the liver. The liver's a bit of a go-between organ. It's touched to the heart as much as it's touched to the solar plexus sort of situation as well. And it's that offset fire, that passion of the heart. And it's also the passion and determination and the courage as well, which we find in the solar plexus. And it seems like here that that is the passionate direction. If you feel that your liver's really sort of like pushing you a little bit, and you have those ideas that come to the surface just afterwards, obviously that's the fire element within you sort of saying to you, this is the direction I should be taking. And there's no choices in it, really. You can go against your liver, but eventually your liver will give up. And that's when we cause illnesses for us and everything like that. So listening to your body and allowing it to have its say, as it were, and also be part of the solution will encourage your life to be a lot more healthy. But here is a very fiery determination. It seems to be the driving thing out of the whole lot. Your solar plexus seems to be the main chakra that's really that you have a great influence upon. Okay, where's it moving on to? It goes to the third eye and the throat chakra. Incredibly calm here in the third eye, and then this is like you do not want to be overthinking things. You know, keeping your eye on the goal, I think, is really important here. The throat chakra is relaxed, and that was another thing that we saw in the messages from energy. It was all about opening the throat chakra. That is the water side as well. That does help you to sort of like see another degree to the emotional reactions of the world that is around you. So then that does help you to decipher, you know, what you should be doing and how you should be doing things and so forth. But there's no pressure on it. I think you've got enough emotions that are flowing through your energy as it is, in order for you to sort of like do it naturally without having to play upon your throat chakra. Where does it move on to now? Goes back to the solar plexus, and we come back to that passionate side. So I think is once the ideas have become clear, then you can then re-engage the fire. Once you start going down that pathway a little bit of a way, after a while you'll find that it starts slowing down a little bit. Therefore you sit back, relax, withdraw your fire, get the clear vision again, and then go again. And it's gone back to the crown and the root now. But that's what it seems to be. It seems to be a real sort of two chakras, I would say mainly the third eye and your solar plexus, which is going to be the driving forces for everything that you do this week here. Okay, so there you go. If you want to ask any questions, you know, that you want answered, please do just put it in the comment section below. Let's just put a few cards for you. Let's put a card on your financial side, then on your relationship side, and then the general energies. Let's just see what's going on there. On your financial side, look at that. You get the 8 of Wands. Yeah, it is a direction. That's what I was telling you about. This is that golden nugget. This is good communication. This is things transitioning very quickly. It's also very solid because it's the number 8, it's the double square. It makes for a good foundation. And I think this is what you're building towards and you're driving towards. And certainly on your financial side, I think it's very, if you sit down and go through things, I think it's going to become very, very obvious to you. On your relationship side, look at that, Ace of Swords. Yeah, I think you need to decide the direction. There's an understanding from within you that life is for living, and living is all about the here and now. And once you start engaging in it, I think you're going to start realizing that you have the victory within your hands. You have the choice here. Once you start engaging in your relationships, start bringing in that sort of passionate direction, that's what's going to stimulate the air within you, which is going to activate that Ace of Swords. Great victories to be had if you like to look at, you know, relationships in that sort of sense. But I think you're going to sort of like find a direction and a passion that sits right with you and sits right with, you know, quite a lot of people around you, and it's going to sort a lot of chaff from the week. Let's see what's going on in the general energies. You get the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, that long-term plan, and that's where the ideas are coming from within you. That's that golden nugget, that idea that you need to be planting in the future. The thing with the Knight of Pentacles, he's not really going anywhere. He's just planting seeds in a field, so he doesn't have to go looking and foraging for food and what have you. He's going to get that coming back within his own harvest. So he's creating his own future here. And it's all about the longer term plan. And yeah, it seems like you need to be emotionally engaged in it and have a passionate direction to these ideas. There you go, Aquarius. Thanking you very much for being here. Thanking you very much for subscribing, liking and sharing and all of that malarkey. I will see you soon, either on the live at the weekend or on the Messages from Energy or the other energy videos that we do on this channel. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.